people's going to ask me, how does it sound closed? Well, before I close it, let me show you how it sounds basically with the little lid prop. So I can close it. I can make it like that. Have my iPad or sheet music right there. I don't read sheet music, but I just, anybody else wants to play, they got the sheet music stand right here. So. Close it, I can put this down. You see, there's two pieces. There's two pieces right here. This is the big lid prop. This is the little one right here, and has a felt piece inside to protect it. So I can close this. Well, sorry, I have to put this one down first because since it's small, I have some limitations. And then put that one right there. I can close it up. I can leave it like this. Different sound. Close it up completely, right over here. Now I have that to stop for a reason, actually. I wanted it to do that. Usually, you know, it looks like it's getting stuck, but I wanted it to do that because every time I move it, all I have to do is basically put just a little strap around it and the lid will not flip over while it's being moved with the skid rails and everything. So here's how it sounds closed. Strong bass. That's not even full blast. Full blast, just to give you an example, hopefully I can do this on here. Let me see. Okay, right there. That's not even full blast. Okay, full blast. Close it up. This is what I could have in my hotel room if I'm locally or if I'm driving. Well, I'm not driving, but if we're driving out of state and stuff like that in our timeshare or hotel room, this is exactly what I can have. As you can see, I'm moving it. It's sturdy. The damn thing is, look at this, sturdy. I'm pushing it a little bit. It's wiggling on the wheels, but the body is staying still. Not like my acoustic grand. It has the wrong legs on it, and the minute when I push it, it wobbles just a little. But this thing is sturdy, and I can't sit on it right now because this is uncured. I mean, I can put my hands on it, but I can't sit on it because the lacquer is still curing, and I have to put more coats on it. So But yeah. So from it closed, just to give you an example. To open. Which is really cool. So, and transposing. So I could just leave this at piano. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love what I could do with this thing. Portability, definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. This one does weigh. This weighs at least probably like 150 pounds. So this calibrates the same weight as that digital grand piano right there. Probably a little bit. Just gonna be honest with you, probably a little bit less. But one person could basically handle this. This is no problem to actually flip and lift and put on a dolly. And one person can actually handle this alone. So, you know, depending on your size and how you're built and everything like that. But I absolutely just... Here you go. Ah, see, that's me messing up right there, but it's okay. of good pianists that only play on 61 keys. If they could do it, I could do it. But not that many pianists can play on small keys like this. But you know what? You know what I saw? It's weird. The chord microstation. Melba Moore. If you look her up, Melba Moore, her keyboard is. I guess she was. I don't know. I guess the keyboard is new or anything. I don't know if she tours. Had only this, the chord microstation, and he was jamming away at this. So that's what made me. I already have a microstation, so that's what made me put this keyboard inside this piano. And what was actually supposed to go in here was the Korg Micro Key Air, which is the Bluetooth keyboard. And I was going to have the iPad hooked up to it, which I still could, which is no problem, but without the Bluetooth capability. But that was supposed to go into this piano. But to have the Korg microstation, and I have more inputs that I can actually put stuff in, I'm set. I'm set. I can actually go, and also this has a built-in amplifier, so I don't have to take an amplifier, I don't have to take a stand, keyboard stand. All I have to do is just take this and show up on stage with just this, and be hooked up to the PA system, and I'm fine. I'm fine. So I have two more outputs coming. Since right now I'm using a headphone jack from the keyboard, not from the PA system. I'm not from the amplifier system that's on here. So the headphone jack from the amplifier system shuts off the whole speakers, so you can actually hear it with your headphones. Plus it has a line in for like an iPad or whatever. But I got two more outputs on here, so if I wanted to hook it up to another amplifier, I can, because of that feature. And so I don't have to blow my speakers. I could just use these as monitors. Or the other thing is that I have another set of monitors, which I do. I have another set of monitors which I'm not using at all. It's just sitting there. Plus it has speakers and everything like that. I have another amplifier, which I can use too. And what I was thinking about doing is flipping this baby over. I might do it early before I spray the last coat, but flipping this baby over and putting speakers underneath. So not only that you get the speakers up here, but you get the speakers underneath it too. And so I gotta map that out and see the way how can I do it. That means what I have to do is I have to take this whole thing apart again. And no, not actually. I just gotta take out the synthesizer and the keyboard and figure out how to add the more speaker power to here. If I have to add more speaker power to the back, I will. I'll just do it. That's no problem. But also on the other side, like say for instance, you could turn off the keyboard right here, which is no problem. I'm gonna maybe disable that so it stays on. But on the other side, underneath here, I put a power surge that is actually built onto the piano, and I can turn off the keyboard and the speakers and whatever else that's connected to it instantly. So turn it on, turn it off, take the legs off, bada bing, bada boom, you're gone. That's it. You're gone. You don't have to do anything else. And in here, well, what I was thinking about is that, well, I probably can't, but I'll figure that out. When I make the bench, I'm going to make, of course, a storage compartment, which is going to have the tools. It's going to have the cover. It's going to have the cleaning supplies that I need. Basically all the little auxiliary, miscellaneous things that I need for it. It's going to have, just in case if something goes wrong, it's going to have it all on the bench. So that's when I'm going to make the bench. I am going to start buying the wood. I'm going to start buying the wood, and then I'm going to plan how to make the bench. So give me a chance, though. A lot of people's like, oh, what about the bench? Let's just go. Right now, just got this. It folds up. It's nice. It's all I need for right now. But it's what I have right there. see, let me go here and go to its effects, its master effects. See, master effects, okay, so that's chorus, master effects 1, and master effects. Okay, that's Hall. And what I want to do is, let's see, the return. Put more reverb. I'm already getting texts, emails, and calls for people wanting me to make them a piano. And what I have to just say basically is that I can make a piano for you. You know, it doesn't have to be like this. This takes time. So this is the K Nicholson. I make another version which is basically mostly cardboard, but it's still doable and still a lot easier to move. It's a lot lighter than this, which is the Maxwell line. And so what's the difference between the K Nicholson and the Maxwell line is that the K Nicholson actually has the wood parts, has all the veneers that you've seen me melt, you know, you see me make it, and it comes out looking like this or any color that you want. The Maxwell line, it's basically mostly cardboard components, which also has the veneer. It has actually the veneer, so it doesn't look like cardboard. Everything's gonna look like wood, but it's a lot more lighter components, and it's sturdy. It's sturdy because only thing about it is that you won't be able to sit on it. You won't be able to put a drink on it or whatever. This you could put a drink on. You can sit on it. You can abuse it. You can do whatever you want, and nothing will happen to it. The Maxwell line, since it's a lot lighter, it doesn't have a reinforced rim. It doesn't have. It's much more lighter materials. But it looks exactly like this. It's exactly the same, different materials. The Maxwell line is much more easier to build than the K Nicholson line. The K Nicholson, a lot of people's like, what is K Nicholson? That's my name, Kris Nicholson. My first initial and Nicholson, and that's what I've been putting on my pianos. On this one, actually, this is a K Nicholson piano right here. You can't hardly see it, but my rhinestone, it's a K Nicholson piano, and that's what I put on my pianos a lot. So that's a more sturdier, a much more better line, but it's a much more expensive line. So something like this piano, a lot of people's asking me if I were to make a piano just like this. Ooh, the felt piece is coming off. Honestly, this will cost probably, depending on the veneers, if it's cheap veneers, what I mean by cheap, least expensive veneers, this will probably cost around $2,800, like $2,800. Just me building it and just a sticker price, $2,800. For the other exotic veneers, it will cost. There's a guy around with speakers. He always travels around with speakers. For other kind of veneers, like say for instance, the veneer that was on here was a beechwood, was a regular beechwood, which I call plain, but it was a beechwood veneer. And then of course I made it black because it looked too plain to me. It looked like a plain. Everybody was saying, Kris, it's so plain Jane. They call it plain Jane. That's why I changed the color. The veneer that's on here, this is a walnut. This is actually what they call it. they call it a cherry, but it's actually a walnut. Because when you stain it, it's like an American walnut, and it's this veneer right here, just for the sheet, it was a little bit more expensive. So I got a smaller sheet, and it was the same exact price as the bigger sheets from the beechwood, because it's a different kind of wood. So they also have Madagascar ebony. They got Babinga. They have some, you know, some more exotic patterns of wood veneers, just to actually that I could use for the pianos, but it costs a lot more. So I said, let me start, since this is my first project, getting back to my pianos, my first project, and I never worked with veneers before. Let me start with the cheapest one. And so that's what I did. I started with the cheapest one, which was the beechwood. And as I said, it came out great, but it looked so plain. The piano looked like plain Jane, and I didn't want people to call it plain Jane. For the Hawaiian group, it looked good, but one of the reasons why I built this piano, and a lot of people, of course, asked that question, was, what made you build this piano, and why did you build this piano? What made me build this piano was, there was a Liberace puppet that I saw, and I'm going to post a picture of it, and he was playing on a piano like this, but it was, of course, a little bit smaller, and it fit the puppet use. And I was like, I want something like that so I could take around and just fool my fool my friends that it looks like a real piano, but it still plays and everything, just like that. But it kind of got, as I started building it, it kind of got serious. What I mean is that I took things a little bit more seriously. My attitude changed basically, I wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be done, I wanted it to be perfect, just like a real piano. Not like the Liberace piano. And I just, day and night, countless hours, day and night, I built it. I had to figure out how the music desk was going to be, because mostly concert pianos, a lot of the American music desk, they fold this way. This one folds backwards. And I wanted to decide everything, the dimensions. This piece alone, the fall board, this is kind of hard to find, but I found something that's similar to it. But the only thing about it is that I had to do, this was a hard piece to make, just the fall board itself, for the dimensions and everything. It was really a hard piece to make. The color, of course, the way how the keyboard should fit in, I had to think that through. The minute I made the rim of the piano, that's when things kind of fell in line. When I made the bass of the piano, I really didn't know what this project... Honestly, after I made the bass and I put the rim around, I didn't know exactly what I was doing, but when I put the inside rim, it fell in line, and that's when I knew I wanted to make this. I wanted to actually build this the right way, the way how it is right now, which is... Anyway, alright, well, thank you so much for watching my videos, everybody, and do me a favor, click like, subscribe, follow me on everything, and go to my website. I love each and every one of y'all, and keep writing. Mwah!